Hello everybody, James here, Storytime with Dutch Mantell, episode 158. Basically, I barely talked to Dutch beforehand because he's got to go as soon as we're done, pretty much. So I said, alright, we'll start. Record. Hello everybody, it's Storytime with Dutch Mantell, episode 158. That's how it went. So we'll do the intro quickly, and I do mean quickly. Dirty Dutch Mantell with 2Ls at gmail.com. That is the email you use for all your signed merchandise from Dutch himself, including books, diplomas, WCW trading cards. Questions for Dutch at gmail.com. That's the email you use to write into the show. Submit your questions for Ask Dutch Anything every single Sunday. And also, I'm plugging my channel, Listmania Wrestling, as well, but I don't know where the link is for that. So look out for it. It's got the best damn list you'll ever find. Right, Dutch, you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Hey, what's the name of your Listmania? What is that?
Yeah, Listmania. I do 1 or 2 videos a week on deep dives and top 10 lists and bottom 10 lists and that kind of thing. And it's gotten good reviews so far.
Good.
The one that I was most proud of was the Ric Flair one. We decided how many world titles he actually won.
Well, how many would that be?
0, because they were given to him by Booker.
Oh, that was good.
Don't tell Rick that, though.
How many does he say he's won? 26?
No, he says 16. I say 23. The NWA like turned away loads of titles because it didn't meet storyline purposes for one reason or another.
Well, anyway, buddy.
Oh, there you go. You're stunned by that, weren't you?
I was stunned by it.
How are you?
Oh, well, I'm okay. I woke up late, so I'm rushing to get this done because I'm having a very important meeting I have to go to. So let's talk some wrestling.
I was going to say it's Mustache of the Year 2025 Tampa
Man,
Division.
That's almost natural this morning. Okay.
Right.
I'm ready.
Survivor Series, man. Let's get straight to it. So you've seen quite a lot of Survivor Series. You saw all the big stuff that happened. You know what's going on with Survivor Series. Survivor Series Boar Games. It was a pretty damn boring episode, I'll tell you.
I had a little voice in my head saying, nothing's going to happen. And I don't know why I had said that. But recently, WWE has lost most of its momentum. I mean, I remember a couple of months ago, or more than that, I was saying, man, they're kicking this in the butt. But somehow they have lost it. And I don't know if they know where to go. I wish they would go back to at least twice a month, having a Raw like they used to have, because that's what people are used to seeing. A kick-ass Raw, but we haven't been seeing that lately, and I won't blame that on maybe a change of management, I guess. Maybe they don't understand it. I don't know. But all I can say, speaking merely as a fan, not as a podcaster, not as an ex-wrestler, I'm speaking almost as a fan, the show is nowhere near where it used to be.
So, you've watched the main stuff from Survivor Series then. We're going to get to, very quickly, the Io Sky finish. I've got something about Raw as well.
Yeah.
Before we even get to that, they were, and this is a problem in itself, because I'm sure you'll roll your eyes at this, is that during rehearsals for the show...
If I'm what?
During rehearsals for Survivor Series.
Okay, yeah.
Because you know how everyone's got to rehearse everything now.
Yeah.
They actually had to put curtains up at all sides of the ring because there are hotels that overlook the Petco Park Stadium. And therefore they were trying to stop people from, letting stuff leak, essentially.
Mm-hmm. So they had to put curtains around the ring.
Yeah. Or not have to rehearse everything.
They had to put some high curtains up because that cage was high.
Mm.
Ridiculous. That is ridiculous.
Hey, how much did people rehearse when you were Zeb Colter around that era?
Not much.
Really?
Oh, they would rehearse something maybe if Vince was involved. Vince would when he got a break before the show, he would get up and he would go down there with them, and they would walk through it. And they'd be maybe 20 people around the ring, maybe not that many. And but they wouldn't get the whole ring to themselves. You would have 2 or 3 groups of people walking through their stuff at the same time. So that rehearsal, we call rehearsal training time when you should have learned it before you got there. And a lot of guys could do these back in those days. I'm going to the ring with a guy, right? And I've worked with him 50 times, 100 times. We don't need to rehearse. But I guess these guys do. I guess it's their business. They can do what they want to do. But I wouldn't even have to rehearse anything with the guy. I'd just go in the ring with him. I worked with a guy so much when I was breaking in. We didn't call anything in the back. We called it all in the ring. Sometimes in the middle of a spot, we'd call another one. I'd worked with him so many times because he knew what to expect, and I knew what to expect from him. But I don't think you can get those guys because they don't get the reps like we used to. We was repping 7 days a week, which was not good on the body, but it was good for in-ring work. I mean, you can't go to a town and people really looking forward to wrestling, and then all of a sudden you couldn't get caught in a ring rehearsing a match. They'd say, "What? It is true." It's like you just give them the compass to the new world, and they say, "Well, what I've been hearing was true." They do rehearse, but we didn't do it back in the older days.
I've got a theory, Dutch. If you need to rehearse a move or a spot so much that maybe you shouldn't do it because it's too complicated, and therefore should excise it in the first... Unless it's like a huge stunt that you need to work out beforehand. Should it be a rule that if you need to rehearse a spot so much in the ring that maybe you shouldn't do it?
We didn't do real stunts. We did basic stuff and told a story. Now, if it was a major stunt, if you got to rehearse it, it wouldn't be major. Say, just, okay, hit me with a guitar, which I always thought was a pretty big deal. Well, we couldn't do that because we only had one guitar. So where are we going to get a ukulele about this size and hit him on the head with it? No. Yeah, we didn't do all that working out stuff.
Let's do a couple of things here. Is Io Sky finish? What is her dive off the cage with the can on her head?
I liked it. It was different. So I like when they're trying to get the trash can up to her, and the girl come over and put her on the shoulders, handed it to her. Now that is different. That was probably the most entertaining thing of the whole night. And when she did that, have you ever thought about doing something like that? Would you do something like that?
No. I mean, do you know what? Would you get like automatic vertigo because you can't see where you are and then you just fall over?
You could. I'm thinking, I didn't even think of that. But you could when it got dark in there and all of a sudden, what if you lost your balance and fell over backwards? But she was watching them, I think, and her balance was set by her watching their feet or whatever she could see, because I saw a hand do this. But hey, you got to think about, what if the edge of that can catches you? You're one of the catchers. What if the edge of that can, you're wrong and you catch the edge of it? That could be a bad cut.
We'll just do what everyone else does and just part like the Red Sea and let them splat on the ground.
Yeah, but I don't think they parted like that. They actually tried to catch her a little bit, at least her shoulders. Hey, that's a hard catch. I mean, I know she doesn't weigh that much. What do you think she weighs?
You're not going to make me guess a woman's weight on this podcast, are you?
Yes,
Dutch?
I am.
No, I couldn't possibly.
I'd say 115. Maybe 110, because she's short too. So that's what I'm guessing.
Yeah, I think so. Hey, so you thought it was funnier than passing the object rather than the actual dive? That was more entertaining to you?
No, I like the dive. I like the whole deal. I did like the passing it. That was a good way to do it. And it gives the crowd, the fans, a little more anticipation. And then she puts it down, and I saw that hand come out like, "Oh, get over here!" Watch. And they did. So, but if you look at it, what is the purpose of getting on the top rope, putting a can over your head, and diving off? Only in wrestling. It's just different.
I know you don't fully pay attention to these things. The only things that stick in your mind, the big moments, like for most people. But would you like to have a guess how long the women's War Games match? Keep in mind it opened the show. Do you want to have a guess how long it went?
20 minutes.
41 minutes.
Damn. 41? What are they going to do in 41 minutes?
Well, too much, because the fans didn't care really very much for most of it.
I don't know why they would give them that much time. I really don't.
I've made a point of this.
The American or the world wrestling fan is really prompted to go along with 10-minute matches. 10 or 12-minute matches on a pay-per-view. Hey, you've seen it. Let's do the finish. Let's get out. Let's get to the main event. 41 minutes. I bet that concession stand did a brisk business.
That doesn't include the entrances. So if you're including the entrances, it was more like 46, 47.
How many girls were in it?
2 teams of 5, so 10.
That's what I'm saying. They have lost their timing, even going into the ring. I don't know who came up with this, but I don't think it's a good plan. I want WWE to be successful. I want them to blow it away. I really do. But I don't know who's putting this stuff together. It doesn't look like wrestling people are putting this together.
Yeah, it was 41 minutes, 10 seconds, not including the entrances. And then, and I've used this point a couple of times recently, and I'm sure you'll know where I'm coming with this. Because it's an annual event, they sort of have to, and everything's manufactured, of course, but they kind of have to like really overtly manufacture a reason for these teams to get together to then have a War Games match. Where back in the day, and you've been in War Games matches in Puerto Rico, for people who don't know or didn't watch Ask Dutch Anything on Sunday, you do a War Games match because there's a reason for that match. It's a match that needs a stipulation rather than a stipulation that needs a match. And this is what's happening constantly. So there's not really anything to get too excited over. It's just the annual thing that happens. Then they move on to the next annual thing that happens. At least with the Royal Rumble, there are consequences. War Games is not.
But they know this when they book it. Mm-hmm. So why don't we book a couple of angles leading into this match that makes it reasonable to have a War Games match?
They do, but it's just not that exciting. Because they're booking to a time frame rather than an organic story being told.
Let me ask you this. It went 41 minutes, but they're not held to any special time, right? They don't have to produce so much. They don't have to do almost 3 hours of pay-per-view, right? They could do 2 hours and a half.
They did 2 hours 40-something this time. So, yeah, it wasn't that long, this show. But then again, there was only 4 matches. And another argument I wanted to make mention to you, Dutch, is that the old WCW and NWA War Games, they would last about 20 minutes.
Excuse me.
Well, I'm not cutting that out, Dutch. You're allergic to those cigars, aren't you?
Yeah. I need to quit chewing on this one, but...
So, I don't know what I was saying. But anyway, yeah, so even the old War Games, there'd be one of them, they'd be the main event, and then there'd be 20 minutes. You'd be in, out, see you later. But the gaps in between these, you get 5 minutes at the beginning, then 3 minutes between entrants, and it just drags, man.
Okay, when somebody got beat in the war games, what is what is the purpose of war games? One team beat the other? Or...
Yeah, it's not elimination. It's you can only the match only begins or pinfalls only count after all participants are in the rings. So then you've just basically got a ton of filler where
so
invariably the heels have got the advantage, and then the last 5 minutes is the match
so
beyond.
so if a member of a team gets pinned, the team loses.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's exciting. I don't know why they don't take it down. Has it always been that way?
Yeah.
I mean, the individuals members when they get beat, they don't leave.
No, it's not elimination. It's never been, which is fine. But once again, the match beyond only starts after like 33 minutes. So when you go into a War Games match, WWE style, you have like 33 minutes before any pinfalls or submissions count. So it just ends up being over half an hour's worth of filler.
Okay, where did the 33-minute number come from?
Because you get two people starting and they wrestle for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then every 3 minutes thereafter, you have another entrant. So you have like 8 more entrants in. So it's actually not 8 times 3, it's 7 times 3 plus 5. So you've got 26 minutes.
Before anybody can be pinned.
Yes. Which is fine if it's regular War Games and you cut it down to like 14 or whatever it might be. But when you're heading towards half an hour, you're just dragging it out.
Okay, I think we need to go ahead and just call for a total revamp of the War Games, the setup. I think we just need to restructure the whole thing. That's what I would do.
I'd set it on fire. Oh, I'd electrify it and then blindfold Chris Harris and James Storm.
Where did you come up with those names?
Oh, because they had that terrible blindfold match where like the effects didn't work in TNA.
Oh, yeah.
Did you book that by any chance?
I did not book that. I didn't have anything to do with it. What pay-per-view was that on?
I was like it must have been Lockdown where they were all cage matches. So you had an entire pay-per-view of cage matches.
We need to have James Storm on here one day and ask him about it.
Did you get on with James Storm?
Oh, yeah. He's a great guy.
Yeah. Couple more
He's
things.
doing movies now, you know.
Oh, yeah? As what?
Oh, yeah. He's doing well. I'm gonna get him here and get his autograph. About that.
So, a couple more things from the show. Liv Morgan returns.
Yeah.
She's been gone since June. Yeah, tell us, for people who didn't watch it, tell us what we saw.
Okay, who was it? It was a Cena in there with who
Dominic,
was in there?
Dominic.
Finn Balor, and who's that other guy?
JD McDonough.
They ran in and they almost got the best of John Cena, but they didn't. And after he dusted them, some music played, and down the aisle came. What's her name?
Liv Morgan.
Yeah, Liv Morgan came in. It's too early in the morning for me. And now that got a big pop. We got actually a big pop, but she jumped in his arms and gave him a big hug. And then she was looking toward the camera. And then it went from a smile to, oh, God, something was going to happen. And then that's where I stopped watching. So what did happen?
Oh, she just kicked him in the balls. And
that's
then,
right.
Yeah.
What a kick. Oh, my. I thought I heard it. I'm sure I didn't. If I did hear it, John, you can forget anything else for like next week or two. You're not going to be doing anything. But what a kick. Or it looked great on TV. She brought that in. So I will say one thing for her, Liv. You got a hell of a lower ball kick. Is there such a thing as an upper ball kick?
It depends how uneven they are. Okay.
That's something men don't talk about. The evenness of their testicles.
No, I'm rightly so. I spoke to someone over the weekend I bumped into, I hadn't seen for years, and they said they'd had a vasectomy. And they said, "Oh, how was it?" I was in bed for 2 weeks. It was agony. Man, you must really not want to have any more kids. I was like, nope. So there you go.
What, a vasectomy messes you up that bad?
Yeah, and apparently, because I know people who've had vasectomies reversed, and they said that was even worse.
Wow. Well, I missed all that.
Yeah.
Because I have a predilection. Is that a word? Do not have my little fruits of life. I don't want them tinkered with. And anybody down there with sharp instruments, no, stay away.
Wise words, I think, there,
Yes.
Dutch. Wise words for everybody.
So if anybody's out there, if you're thinking about a vasectomy, no, don't do it.
No. One more thing from the show, the Mystery Man. So, tell us about the Mystery Man, All in Black. What did you see? And I mostly watched Raw all the way through before starting this. I'm not sure they addressed it. I think they did, but we still don't know who he is. So tell us what happened.
Well, I was running crazy this morning. He ran in. Who did he attack?
CM Punk. Well, a couple of people, but CM Punk mostly.
CM Punk. That was the effort of it, or the center of it. But nobody knows who the Mystery Man is. Now everybody is guessing, who is it? Somebody brought up Austin Theory. I think he's bigger than Austin Theory, I think. Just look, black makes you look smaller. And the only one I could come up with is the same one you came up with. I think it's, which actually brings up another question. I think it's Chris Jericho. Could be wrong, but that's what having a hooded man is supposed to do. It's supposed to make you think, who is it? So we're thinking too. But I'm thinking, wait a minute. If Chris is still under contract to
Tony Khan, AEW.
AEW, what kind of deal did they work back and forth for him to appear there? See what I mean? Would he have to be released from a contract for one day?
Well, I think the idea is that it could be anyone. So it doesn't have to be Jericho for it to eventually be revealed as Jericho. It could be any stuntman. It can be any double.
Could be. You hit it. Mm-hmm. It's anybody.
You've booked.
But it was supposed to be, I think it was supposed to be Jericho, which they will reveal after he gets there.
That could be January.
That's actually a pretty smart move.
Any other names that you can think of?
Okay, if it had been Jericho, the real Jericho, that would have leaked out. Everybody would have. What are you doing? Trying to choke yourself or what?
No, I've just got a itchy back. You carry on. Camera wasn't even on me. No one would have noticed.
No, I was
doing that basically.
I was watching this. I said, "What are you trying to do? Trying to put a neck hold on himself?" Yeah, I think it was anybody that we wanted it to be. It's just a masked man. So that answers the question right there.
Yeah, you've booked these things before. How long do you generally string the audience along before you give the big reveal?
I think they'll reveal him quickly. I think they'll work for the reveal. He'll probably try to run in a time too, and then they'll pull the mask off in the ring for everybody to see. Oh my God, who would have thunk it? And it's going to be Jericho. And then you have the obligatory, wow. Then now they're going to think, now what? See, they'll pop on the big things, yeah, but now what are we going to do? Now they need to have something to follow that has a little bit of life to it, a little bit of staying power, and see what they can do with Jericho.
Wouldn't it be funny if they unmasked and it turned out it was Chick Donovan?
People go, yay, who? And oh, that's good. I actually like that. See, that's why I couldn't be on the creative team very long. taking something and then making a joke out of it. And they said, "Hey, this is not funny." I said, "Oh yeah." I'm just trying to add a little bit of levity to it, but.
Well, people are thinking it's Austin Theory. I think that's the going theory at the moment.
I don't think Theory would. How would Theory fit in there?
Well, I don't know, because he's been a tag team guy for like 2-3 years. He's been absolutely nowhere, even sniffing a decent singles run for years since Vince McMahon was there, really. So I just kind of think it would, in my opinion, it'd cheapen it.
Yep, I agree with you there.
But Chick Donovan, you know,
that's different. Do you know Chick? Do you know Chick?
No, I never. I had the opportunity to. I couldn't make it.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah, he's still out there, still performing.
Like how old is that guy?
He's like 100 years old, man. He's in his into his 70s.
No, I think he's 72. Still looks good. I remember when he started. I guess he started at Independence. Then I met him in Memphis, and I think he was a fireman. He wasn't a policeman. I think he was a fireman at some fire department in Georgia. And he started wrestling, looked good, had that blonde hair, but he looked good. He just looked not real tall, but
78, and he wrestled this year.
Hey, he's going to break the record. He's going. How old was Funk when he broke the record?
Well, Dory Funk, 82 or something, I think.
He'll break the record.
I think he will. Jimmy Valiant was 79. I think Bushwhacker Luke might still do very occasional wrestling, but like in six-mans and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There you go. That's more interesting than the Masked Man, because they didn't address it on Raw, and also Triple H at the I don't know if it was the post Survivor Series presser or whatever they do now, said you should watch Raw. It's going to be an absolute barn burner. It's going to be amazing. And then people watched it and it was like, that was just a boring edition of Raw. Nothing happened. I mean, I think the most interesting thing, and I use that in quotation marks, is that they established contenders for the women's tag team titles. That was it. Nothing happened. Oh, Jey Uso, I'll get to that in a second. Jey Uso threatened a heel turn briefly, but we'll get to that in a minute. The most interesting thing to come out of Survivor Series over the weekend was Paul Heyman walking on the way back from the ring. Do you want to tell us what's happened, or do you want to actually just watch it and react?
Okay, this was after it's over?
Yeah.
Looked like he was walking down where was he walking into?
Well, that's my question, because why was he walking through the crowd? Don't you just go back through the entrance?
It looks like you could almost drive a car down that. But anyway, the camera was on Paul Heyman for some reason. And there were fans all around him. And this kid runs up. But I think you wouldn't really call it a kid. But I would say the kids could be from 12 to 14, let me say that.
Yeah, a boy. But
runs up to Paul, and Paul shoves him back into the crowd. Well, I'm going to have to come to Paul Heyman's defense here. That's how people get hurt, not paying attention and trying to say, well, he's a kid. I don't know who this guy is, or who this person is. But he has to protect himself, because this is what I noticed. The security wasn't doing it. Security should have intercepted that kid before he got that close. And all Paul was doing, from years and years and years of having to protect himself, and it's a natural reaction. He didn't shove the kid down. He just shoved the kid back. So, plus he's a heel anyway. So what's he supposed to do? Take the kid and sign an autograph and give him a little kiss and a little pat on the head and tell him to run along, Sonny? No. Paul did what he had to do. So, and I think please, if this is all you have to bitch about, I mean, we got all this other stuff that me and James have been bitching about since the podcast started. But now you want to talk about Paul Heyman pushing a kid. The kid didn't get hurt. Kid's feelings may have got hurt, but there was nothing wrong with what Paul Heyman did.
Do you want to watch the video? Because there's two videos, actually. So one sec.
Wait a minute.
Right, oh, okay, yeah, we're here. So this is the first one. Can you see?
Wait a second.
You've lost us, haven't you?
Yeah.
1 second, everybody. Okay, Dutch is back. So here it is.
Yeah.
This is just kind of a whole lot of nothing for you, this?
Yeah, it's nothing. He just told the kid to get off of him.
Do you think this is the first time Paul Heyman's felt tough?
And I didn't notice that Logan Paul was behind him.
Yeah, here's the other video. This kind of just exposes just how useless security was. Hang on. So look, I mean, like that guy at the front. Oh, don't touch this guy. Look, just watches the kid, just like walk straight past him.
Yep. And you can tell that guy, he's not used to being a security, but he didn't put his body there, didn't even try to block him. Mm. And I don't blame Paul on that.
Yeah, I think there's one thing. I'm just going to go to the first video again at the beginning. Look how many people are behind him, and if you just walk through that,
that's what I'm saying.
That's an intimidating deal.
He cannot stop, because if he stops, they will. It'll be forever before, and it would get dangerous if he stops in the middle of that crowd. There's 200 people there, right there, just in the shot. Well, maybe not that many, but a lot.
Oh, I think so. I absolutely.
It only takes one. I don't think anybody's going to do anything to Paul Heyman, but still, he was just being sure that he's not a sitting target for someone.
Mm. Now, you can argue that he saw the boy coming. I think in the video you can see him coming for he's looking at him like a second or two beforehand, but still, your thoughts are, well, you never know, and the security should be doing the job anyway.
Well, if a guy come at me like that, he didn't come at him in a threatening way, but Paul had a second to think about it. So, hey, I got to go, and just pushes him out of the way. He's actually doing security's job for them, because they didn't even stop him and didn't even grab him right after he went by. Paul had to get rid of him.
Next here is Jey Uso maybe having a heel turn. We don't know. So he lost to LA Knight clean on the Last Time Is Now tournament on WWE Raw yesterday as we record this. And then he had a little paddy on after the fact at ringside. So tell us what you saw, Dutch.
Okay, well, I just saw a match. To me, I'm kind of suffering from Uso burnout, because I don't know what they're going to do now. They need to give these guys something besides, and they've been sitting on this level almost for a year, haven't they?
Mm-hmm.
Going to do something with them, going to do it, but they're not doing nothing. And after a while, you just become the old saying in wrestling is you just become a part of the furniture.
Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed in 2 years.
So here you walk into your living room every day, and there's your couch, and there's your chair you sit in. And if you don't move it for a year, well, nothing's changed. Nothing's going to change till you rearrange the furniture. And maybe he might need this switch, but I don't think it's going to work, because I think he's just been there. He's been there how long? 11 years, 12 years, more?
Jey Uso's been on the main roster 15 years with Jimmy.
15 years. Years ago, now we had I'm talking about Memphis. If you went into Memphis and you were a top heel, you know how long you had in Memphis before it was time to go?
6 weeks.
No. You had about 8 or 9 months. So they would bring them in January or February and get them built for the summer run, because the summer was always hottest. You get them ready for June, July, and August. And that's where you'd get them red hot. Then you start blowing it off with them in maybe September. And by the 1st of November or middle of October, it was ready for a new guy. So by the time they turned him over, let's say we give him a year, time they turn him over, now a new heel is starting. in January and starting the process all over. So it rolled over. But in WWE, it seems, and they do have, of course, a different business model, but they don't have a different business model on TV, is what I'm saying.
There's very
That's
little
where
turnover. Very little
that's where
turnover.
that's where he's stale. They've seen him so long on TV. I don't think he clicks the scale anymore. Now that's my feeling as a fan. But you can tell that. I mean, he pitched the little bitch out of the ring toward the stairs up the steps. He looks, and to me, that made him look like a little kid.
Yeah, he didn't look that strong either because he was really struggling to lift the stuff. Did you see that?
So he was mad because he lost the match. Okay, we got that. But him going into a little hissy fit, a bitch fit outside the ring, I guess that's what made him think that he was getting ready to turn heel. But he does need something. He really does. 15 years is a long time for the people to see. Take a football player, take a soccer player. After 15 years, you got to be saying, I don't know about this. They need some new faces.
Yeah, but that's different though, because it's like as long as they're still performing and scoring or whatever it might be, as long as they're putting the numbers up there and continuing, then they become a legacy player, and then they become more beloved than ever. I'll give you a football one. Ryan Giggs at United before he started shagging his brother's wife. But that's or Paul Scholes. I'm just using United players. But people were devastated when they left. It's completely opposite. I think in wrestling you've got to have that turnover, and Jey Uso, I think, is someone who has suffered the burnout more than anyone else, because on Survivor Series, I was going to throw my remote at the TV when halfway through, Jey starts doing the damn let's rewind and let's do the entrance song and do the bouncy thing with all the fans again during the match. And the match was already 30 minutes old. I was ready to scoop my eyes out with a melon baller. I've so had enough of Jey Uso, man. He's the most sick of someone I am of anybody on either roster at the moment. He's so overplayed.
Okay, you said that those superstars in soccer, they're still performing.
If they're still performing, I mean, if they're just there for the sake of it.
But when's the last time you saw one of the Usos perform?
But the thing, Jey's sort of just always flatlining for me. He's not amazing.
See, performing in wrestling is selling tickets, not the stuff you're doing in the ring. But I think he's hit the high spot, the high moment, the high water mark, and I think they need to make a drastic change. But I don't think the people would accept the change. I don't.
Well, I was thinking, if he turns heel, right? So what? So what then? It's just the same stuff.
What then? Now you're asking them to say, well, we like the guy, and now he does something, and now we're not supposed to like him. The crowd, when they figure out what's going on, they will cheer him more, really. And so you put him in against the biggest heel, the biggest babyface, and they may cheer him. Wrestling fans are hard to work with too. You say no wrestling, go the other way. Hate him, please do it. It's my idea. You're gonna make me look bad.
I think that there are certain people that can remain fresh on television for a long time. I don't think Jey Uso is one of them. I'll give you, here's this: there is so little turnover in WWE because there's still the Usos. CM Punk's been there 2 years. Cody Rhodes has been there 2 years, and I think the fans are turning on him somewhat. Roman Reigns turns up once every 3 months, the same as he did years ago. I know Seth Rollins is injured at the moment, but Gunther, Seth Rollins, Brock Lesnar will turn up once in a while. I think the only people who the fans, or at least I'm not that sick of and want to see more of, are maybe LA Knight and Drew McIntyre. They're few and far between, people who've just been on screen for a long time.
What about CM Punk?
Yeah. I don't think... Yeah, but it's... Are you as interested in CM Punk as you were 2 years ago?
No.
It was great when he was with Drew McIntyre and he was turning up occasionally, even though he was injured. He had a real storyline to get his teeth into. But it's the vision, man.
But the thing about wrestling, it can go from woe to go in an instant. They just do the right thing, rebuild almost everybody you want to rebuild, and start telling some stories. And sometimes the stories in telling the stories will overlap, or you'll see a spot where they overlap. If they combine them, now I've seen territories like that. I like Memphis. When Memphis goes down, they would freak out. You'd see Memphis with 5,000 people. They'd freak out. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, 5,000 people? In most places, that'd be a good crowd, 5,000 people. But the Mid-South seated about 11,000. So it was half empty. It didn't make for a good wrestling environment. And then all of a sudden, Jerry Jarrett would just have an idea storm, or Jerry Lawler, or even sometimes I would have it. And it would go from 5,000 to 10,000 or 11, or you could go to a sellout in 1 week. You just do the right thing. And after you're in a territory for a while, you know the right thing to push on. You know the right buttons if you're paying attention. And I think Triple H at this time, he knows what to push. And that's why I'm doubting if TKO even cares about their TV that much.
It's been a year. Name the last interesting thing WWE.
I mean, they're going to get the same money for this TV, whether it does a 10 rating or whether it does a 1.5. Yes or no?
Yeah. So at least for 5 years, yeah.
And they'll get that money, and maybe they're telling them, and the creative, and maybe getting told, hey, take it easy. No need to get in a big rush. And I think they're listening because they're not getting in a rush.
No, there's a lot of treading water.
I would like to see it better, though.
Yeah. Let's move on. Kevin Nash on if Shawn Michaels is gay. Why are you gay? Have you seen that meme?
Well, yeah, I haven't seen it, but
it's amazing.
I'll call him up right now.
You should do. Kev, what are you saying?
Hey, Kev, did you repeat that, what you said? Okay. You got Shawn's number? I'll call him.
So Bret Hart,
but
as we know.
I like Kip because he does say, shut the hell up. It's a rumor. And I can see why those damn. I can see where those rumors get started. But they asked him, was he gay, right?
Yeah. Why are you gay? So here's what Kevin Nash had to say. Obviously, Shawn's best friend, pretty much.
We would not only would we have known, but there's just no way that it would be that he would never have told anyone. He couldn't ever tell anybody. There's no see. That's one of those things where you tell a story like that, and you say, "I'm sure," but no, you're not.
No, this is all his speculation. He
Right.
saw nothing. He didn't walk in on, Pat Patterson or anything like that.
No, it
That
just
might have happened. But he puts it out there though. He's not afraid to do that. And that's what I wonder about.
I think it's.
What's this
I
all
think it's.
about?
Well, I think it's in poor taste.
No
I
pun.
mean, I know they're talking about the screw job, so I mean,
No pun.
none. But I just, number one, like, please somebody get the fuck over that.
So one, Kevin Nash says, no, Shawn's not gay, and two, get over the screw job. Now, this isn't Bret. This was in fairness, it was in a sense, because this was a live show to commemorate, like, the 28th anniversary. And I guess if Bret didn't want to talk about it, he wouldn't have turned up.
Not even the 25th or the 30th.
No.
The 28th.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe it's an annual thing at this point.
It could be. So what were they celebrating?
The annual Screwjob Summit.
Oh, he has to do it every year.
Yeah, the 28th edition.
Well, see, I think, who said this? Jim Ross said this, I think. He said, well, he's out there still, I mean, giving those quotes because he wants to be, what he was saying is he wants to be relevant again. And he says the people bought it. See, the people will buy like sensational stuff. Was Shawn gay? I knew Shawn. I don't think he was gay, or he never hit on me. I can say that for a definite fact. But if he was gay, who gives a crap? I don't care. See, there's been a lot of gay guys in wrestling years ago, and we all knew they were gay. Guess what we said about it? Nothing, because it was his business. He keeps his business away from everybody else. He's not bothering anybody. So what if he's gay? And it would have been, to me, a lot harder years ago to get by with that than it would be when Shawn was working. See, I'm talking about the 70s. Now, if you were gay in the 70s, I guess people suspected, but they never really said anything. Nothing was ever said out loud in the dressing room or publicly. It is what it is. So you accept that, you move on, you mind your own business. Here's my favorite saying: stay in your own lane, and everything runs smoothly. So I'll have to agree with Kevin on this one. I don't think he was gay.
The thing is that fans have been like,
when I was kissing him, he said he wasn't gay. I don't.
I didn't even have the goddamn common courtesy to give you a reach around.
Nope, he didn't.
Right. So here's the thing. I keep seeing fans, what do you mean? He probably was gay because of what Vince got up to with Janelle Grant or whoever. And it's like, that's not anything to do with anything.
No,
and there's just no actual proof of it. I think a lot of it's born out of jealousy, to explain Shawn's push. Instead of the reason he was pushed, despite the fact he was so annoying, is because he was really talented.
Yeah, he was. Very talented.
Jim Ross, here's his quote.
Brett said, quote, I think Shawn and Vince were sleeping with each other.
That's great. That's hilarious. Brett knows how to push the buttons, man. That's all he's doing. All he's doing. And it's working because we're talking about it among others. That's bullshit. This Shawn in that era, at that point in that time, he was in a different mindset. He was a different guy. I don't think he had in any way, form, or fashion believe what he said.
So it's just stirring to amuse himself, Brett, is it?
Yeah, I was. Oh, okay, what didn't Brett say a few more things that were like kind of explosive?
There was bits. He said he didn't like Jake Roberts because he thought he was selfish and didn't pass the torch to him. A couple of other things, but that was the main point, was that he thinks that...
So Jake Roberts didn't pass the torch to him.
I guess.
See, I'd read that about what he said about Jake, and I'm thinking, Jake, if he'd stayed straight, he had several more years to go. But and he'll tell you this, he got strung out on drugs, and he wasn't the Jake he was before. So by the time it came for him to pass it, he had probably already left the business.
We shall move on now. Becky Lynch accusations. So she was on, I cannot remember this guy's name, Brett Kreischer or something like that. Anyway, he was an incredibly annoying host.
Who's he?
Some big fat guy with a YouTube channel. I guess he's a comedian. And I call him a big fat guy because apparently being fat is his like go-to to get a laugh. First picture you search for him on Google Images, he's got his top off. So I guess that's kind of his shtick. Anyway, Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins were on this show. And Becky said, and this is the quote.
And also at the time, it was also, don't stay away from the boys. Don't go near the boys. Like, just...
That's crazy that it would be phrased that way as opposed to stay away from the girls.
Oh no.
No, stay away from the boys. But like it's certain things. Like there was, I'm not going to name names, but there was a guy on the main roster who was like, be careful because one, he'll try to sleep with you. If he sleeps with you, then he'll blacklist you.
Oh, Cody Rhodes. I knew it. He slept with. Go ahead.
And if if he tries to sleep with you and you don't sleep with him, he'll also blacklist you. So there was this like line that you had to walk
Do I know him?
tightrope. You know him definitely. But anyway, at one point,
hey guys, hit it up in the comments.
At one point, he got my number, and I remember being like, like, how do you walk this line of like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like not trying to. Anyway, so there was always this thing of like, because if you get into a relationship and things go south, they're not going to fire the guy. They're always going to fire the girl, you know. So it was a very scary,
God, by the way,
precarious
that would be
thing.
so upsetting.
So that's a pretty damning quote there without giving a name. I'm not going to ask you to speculate the name, apart from Chick Donovan maybe, but what do you make of that? Is that something you've heard at the time? Because you were in WWE at the time.
No, I've heard that from the girls before. See, I'd be talking to them on a plane ride or something, and I guess they considered me safe because I'm older than damn Moses. So they'd be talking to me, and then they say, yeah, they get, there's certain guys that hit on them all the time. Of course, that's nature. I don't mind that, but if the girls, if they accept, they do mess up their career. They really do. And who do you think that guy is they're talking about?
Okay, I've got a couple of names in my mind, but I don't want to, for legal reasons, say a name and be wrong or right. But I've got a couple of names in mind, and I've asked around, and people have got similar names. Have you got a name in mind for somebody who would actually go out and blacklist a wrestler for either sleeping or not sleeping with them?
Oh, yeah.
Because Becky Lynch actually mentioned a full-time roster member. So I think people might have been saying, because, they've got the lawsuits and the NDAs, Vince McMahon or John Laurinaitis, but in this quote, she seems to be indicating it was a roster member on the roster at the time in 2015.
I think that is a clue to throw people off. I don't think he was on the roster, not in a working capacity, but he was there and everybody knew who he was. So, and I don't doubt what Becky's saying. I think she is telling 100% truth here.
She also mentioned how at the time any failed relationships and such interactions would generally lead to the girl getting fired and not the guy, which upped the stakes for her. And we've seen that more than once. A couple would happen, and then I won't mention it on this one, but high-profile wrestler would date a girl, and then when it would fall apart, the girl would be shipped off to the other brand and not used until they just got rid of.
Well, it was who the company. Okay, if it was a relationship between a male talent and a female talent, and they go together, and they're on the same brand and everything, and then when it falls apart, it's usually the girl that gets the boot because she's the easiest one. She's the easiest one to replace. Because if it was a star with the guys, yeah, you'd have to keep him around. That's just business sense. I would probably do the same thing.
Would you?
Oh, well,
date the women and ship them off to SmackDown?
No, if they break up, who would I send another way to separate them?
Basically, whoever was the star, the biggest star of the two, you would keep.
Yeah, but they didn't have a lot of big women stars back then. They did, but not like today.
No, your Rhea Ripley's and whatnot, would have a lot to say about that these days anyway, compared to 10 years ago. Right, we'll move on.
Who gives those girls advice now?
In what sense? Like life advice?
Who advises the new girls coming in?
As far as wrestling and stuff.
do they start getting advised in NXT? I'm sure they do. Say, hey, when you get there, so if you're telling the girls, when you get there, and you will get there, be appreciative of the fact that you got a spot on the main roster and walk the straight line. Hey, here's my line again. Stay in your own lane and just ride it as long as you can ride it, and then get out and do something else.
Don't shit on your own doorstep.
No kidding.
Right. Ric Flair on Hulk Hogan's death. Your favourite, not Hulk Hogan's death, but Ric Flair, your favourite topic for the show. I genuinely think if you put in Ric Flair's name into this channel, about 80 videos would come up. I'll have to actually check that. So, Flair went on a podcast. I don't have the name of the podcast. I should do. My apologies. Quote.
Another wrestler, another Mount Rushmore type legend who resided in the Tampa area, Hulk Hogan, passed away.
I talked to him the day before he died. I shouldn't say this, but what killed him was street drugs. When the doctor wouldn't prescribe anymore, he was in so much pain. And he had that neck surgery, and it got infected. So back in the hospital, mentioned 10 back surgeries, 2 knees, 2 hips, all this. And then when the doctor would not prescribe any more pain medicine, they just couldn't do it all due conscious, right?
Yeah.
So they went and got the drugs off the street.
Mm-hmm.
His body just said, you know what? Bingo. I can't do it anymore.
So this is just some random podcast where Ric Flair decides to throw the legacy and the family of Hulk Hogan under the bus.
Yes.
I'm not even quite sure why. Before we get to the responses from the family and Ric Flair's rebuttal from that, why would Ric Flair say this in the first place?
I don't know. First of all, he's Ric Flair, and he's looking to stay relevant. So he said, okay, if I let some dirt out, that'll get my name circulating again. But it shows what humanity does he have left? He's leaving the people with the fans that what killed him was street drugs, not imagining what that did to the family. You know, just because Hulk is gone doesn't mean his family didn't love him. And they don't want to hear Ric Flair really talking about street drugs. And he said he talked to Hogan the day before he died. I thought he was in a coma.
No, I think he had a heart attack. He wasn't in a coma. He was at home.
I think the day before he died, wasn't he in a coma?
No, I don't think so. No, I think he had a heart attack, I believe.
Okay.
The morning of. And then Vince McMahon crashed his car later on that day for whatever reason. Well, because he was going too fast, I suppose. But yeah, that's what I'm trying to work out. Why?
I don't know why he would say that. But hey, this will suffice. Looking for a reason. He's Ric Flair. That's it.
So
that's all you need to say.
Yeah. So Sky, who's Hulk Hogan's widow, said that didn't happen at all. Quote.
Okay, she was talking to Hulk, or no?
She was talking to.
It's an answer to what he said.
Yeah, this is in response to Ric Flair's quotes. She, I guess, called TMZ Sports, or they called her, and he gave them that quote. Also said, Sky also denied Flair spoke to Hulk the day before his death. There's a shock that Ric Flair actually didn't speak to Hulk. That's the first thing I was like, no, you didn't. But it's like,
I don't think he was in any mood to talk to anybody, was he?
No. Well, the thing is, Jimmy Hart was his best friend, and he was only in semi-contact with him, calling him here and there, but he seemed to be doing a lot of hospital visits and treatments and stuff. Mm-hmm. But then Ric Flair just happens to catch it. Oh, and there I am. I've just seen Bruiser Brody get stabbed in Puerto Rico as well.
He's always going to put himself right in the middle of it, somewhere. Always. Okay, so what did what did the wife say to Flair? That didn't happen.
It said that Sky said that Hulk Hogan was under constant care of the Morton Plant Hospital in Florida, so the Nature Boy Ric Flair had to have been either misinformed or misunderstood. Sky said that the only changes to Hogan's medication came from following his neck procedure to ensure whatever he was taking did not impact his lungs. And TMZ claimed, because TMZ is absolute crap as well, because of the Logan Paul situation that I'm not going to explain on this show. We spoke with 2 other family sources about Flair's claim, and they both stated it was completely untrue as well. The family are not angry with Ric Flair, but wanted to make clear that Flair was absolutely wrong with this one.
Yep. Well, that's a new one. He's been wrong. But again, like I said, it's Ric Flair, so you know what he's going to offer almost every time out.
Well,
one thing he's not boring.
That's true.
It will give you something to talk about.
Well, it gets more interesting because it's specifically the words he used. Ric Flair tweeted out, I imagine, late last night, "Okay, Sky, I got bad information, according to you." So bear that in mind. "I should have never mentioned it. I have known Hogan since 1979. Let's just move past this and concentrate on his legacy, period, end of story. Let's preserve his legacy rather than dwell on any negative energy." So there's 2 points here. One, according to you, which is that kind of sly little undercurrent dig that I'm reading. He is actually still believing what he said. And 2, let's not dwell on any negative energy. He brought it up.
Right. No, I got bad information, according to you. See, that was the backhand slap when he says that. He should, he doesn't know when to leave it alone. Just let it go. It'll slide off the radar in 2 days. And it's like not that you never said it because it's always there, but let it go. But he wants to rehash it, bring it back. And this is why I think the way that tweet is written, Rick does not write that. He has somebody writing that for him, and they probably said, well, you might need to, of course, he has to agree to it. You might need to put a retraction on your Twitter or your X, and I guess that's where it comes from, and answer her. So they did.
Do you not find it exhausting that Flair uses capital letters for every single word?
Yes, I do. I find that that's not very Flairish. I don't think he has. How can he tweet like that and be half hammered at the same time and not really make a mistake and remember to capitalize every word in the sentence?
Yeah, I don't think he knows how to, because he's writing it like a newspaper headline.
Yeah, I don't think he knows how to do it either.
No. I think really the real point here is that I've made the point, Dutch, that whether it's true or not, it doesn't matter because it's not Ric Flair's place to say it publicly in the first place.
Yep.
And then
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. So what do you think? I think somebody asked me a question this week. Oh, we'll get to it in a little bit later.
Oh, I'm intrigued now.
On another show.
Ah, right. So it's coming up in our Sunday episode of Ask Dutch Anything. Yeah, that was kind of my point. It's like, okay, well, if it's true, then you've just given away information that the family clearly did not want making public. And if it's false, you've just lied for attention.
Okay, when you say, okay, Hulk Hogan got it off the street, that makes Hulk look like just a stone-headed drug addict.
Well, he was at one point, like in the late 2000s. And this is according to Eric Bischoff. He said he was really overdoing it on the pills.
Well,
partly depression, partly pain. So it's him and pain medication have a long history, basically. And I'm not saying that to make fun of him or anything else, but Hulk Hogan has had issues with it in the past.
Pain medication was devised with the easing of pain. And what happens to people who do that, they end up taking too much, and sometimes it has adverse effects on them, as it does everybody. So, but for him, even if he did go on the street and get drugs, I mean, that has a bad tone to it already. But whose business is that anyway? Is it Ric Flair's business to give it to everybody? But he said, I heard it. Whether he heard it or not, I don't know.
Okay, next up, and just because it's fun to make mention of her occasionally, because occasionally she does an interview and it always ends up being newsworthy. But the last time she did one, we didn't really refer to it. But there has been a thing about Ronda Rousey, Dutch, is that she's returning, but she's not returning to wrestling.
Yep.
And she's not returning to mixed martial arts.
Yep.
With 2 runs in pro wrestling, her time in the business, specifically WWE, seemingly turning sour, and especially UFC, it did as well. She announced her retirement in November 2023, or earlier, really, apart from she had a wrestling match with Marina Shafir, tagging with her. But now, according to Boxing Scene, Ronda Rousey is currently in talks to have a bout against Katie Taylor in 2026. Now, Ronda, the worst part of Ronda's game was the boxing. And Katie Taylor, from what I understand, is something like, 25-1, and the one loss she took, she avenged. She's one of the best female boxers out there.
I think Ronda Rousey, that Holly Holm sent her to Dream Street, didn't she?
Mm-hmm.
She left hooked her, I think, and down she went.
No, kicked her. Head kicked her.
Boxing is not in her wheelhouse, I don't think. But I'd be interested in the fight.
Who would you cheer?
Who would I want to win?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't care who wins. I just want to see if Ronda can box or not.
I think we kind of saw that she can't.
Well, if she can't box, she's going to have the same result she had with Holly Holm. Holly Holm ended up knocking her out, and I think this girl, if she's 26-1, she's pretty damn good. And so I think boxing, you just can't leave boxing and just quit boxing, I don't think, and come back and start boxing. It's like doing anything else. Any kind of a physical sport. You cannot just leave it and come back and pick it up and you have the same ability you had before. It doesn't work that way. But I think it's good for her for a payday, and I think she's going to lose.
I think it's interesting. It's kind of like, well, let's say I'm great at amateur wrestling, and then therefore my skills will transfer to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I mean, it won't. I mean, it will to a point. You'll be off to a good start, but you won't be world class in 6 months.
You got to watch matches like this too, because all the money will be on the other girl, not on Rousey. But who knows who's betting on this match? So if you can get it leaning one way and bet the other way, then that happens, and they don't find out about it. There's a lot of money to be made.
Hey, with the Conor McGregor Floyd Mayweather thing, which this will be a far bigger mismatch. Yep. The Ronda Rousey one will be a bigger mismatch. But right at the beginning, I think Conor McGregor had odds of like 40-1 or something ridiculous. But the closer it got to fight time, Conor was talking such a good game that he actually narrowed the odds. So if it goes the same way and Ronda talks such a great game, then you probably get better odds right before fight time on Katie Taylor. So instead of 40-1 on Ronda Rousey, which I doubt anyone would actually be stupid enough to bet on that. Or if you just got you really fancy a... Who knows? It might be like when Homer Simpson had a congenital heart defect. Visualize how you're going to defeat your opponent, and then he imagines it, and Dredrick Tatum, his opponent's had a congenital heart defect and a heart attack, and therefore Homer Simpson wins. It could happen.
How did we go from Rousey to Homer Simpson?
It's my favorite episode when Homer becomes a boxer.
Okay. If she's favored 40-1, what's that mean?
if you put $1 on Ronda to win, you would get $40 back winnings.
What do you think the odds would be?
I think they would open up at least 25-1.
Really?
For Ronda, yeah. So if you lose your mind and think that Ronda's going to beat a professional boxer and a really good one at boxing when she was not a good boxer, then you might want to take 25-1.
Okay, this is not a. This is a real fight. This is not an exhibition.
Yeah, it's boxing. You never know.
Well, you never do know. But I would be interested. I think it will draw a pretty good audience. And I don't think Ronda's going to win it. If it's 100% shoot.
A few more things before we shut down the show. Jimmy Hart's megaphone stolen.
No.
Yeah.
I read that. Hey, Jimmy Hart's megaphone. Hey, that's Jimmy Hart. And he said, I read this, he's not looking to incriminate anyone or to charge anyone. He just wants it back. And that's Jimmy. See, but I wonder if somebody took that megaphone, what are they going to do with it? Wait a minute. Hey, buddy, look here what I got.
Yeah,
Jimmy
check
Hart.
eBay in 2 weeks' time.
Jimmy Hart's megaphone. They said, uh-oh. I think all people said, I think the wrestling fans would say, well, you piece of crap. See, they like Jimmy. They love Jimmy. And for the guy to pick up his megaphone, his loudspeaker, I think it's a pretty low blow. I'm going to make a forecast. I think somebody is going to find out, or they know, who got the megaphone, and I think Jimmy gets it back.
Not to belittle the theft of a megaphone, but didn't Jimmy have like dozens of megaphones over the years? Is this one particularly special, or does he just not want to spend the money to buy another?
Well, Jimmy probably sells those megaphones himself. So, but somebody picking it up. How much you think that megaphone? How much is it worth just on the market? Just $100?
Oh, what? You mean Jimmy's, or with all the decorations and stuff? Oh, I'd say 500 or something.
Okay, but I'm saying just buying it out of the store, what would it be? A couple hundred?
Yeah, I think that, like a full size bullhorn one. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want me to search pricing?
No. Okay, I want to send this out, public service announcement. Anybody that knows the gentleman or the thief that picked up, and I'm not going to say stole, I'm going to say that picked up Jimmy Hart's megaphone, please return it at your nearest possible convenience. It would be highly appreciated.
Do you mean like an amnesty?
By James and by Jimmy Hart.
An amnesty. So drop it off at any police station.
Yeah. And with no questions asked. Amnesty given.
The quote here from WrestleCade. Someone stole Jimmy Hart's megaphone at the convention yesterday. The venue has HD cameras and police will review the footage tomorrow. Jimmy isn't looking to press charges. He just wants it back. If you took it, DM us. 2nd of December. The police investigation moves forward. Okay, where did he lose it, at WrestleCade? Yeah. It sounds more like a heist rather than like a caper. Like a bog standard theft.
Oh yeah. Well, you got to watch that. You don't know who these people are, but they know who Jimmy is, and they know the megaphone. Did he leave it there, or did they pick it up while he was there?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know the details. But hey, well, all these fans out there are making AI videos. They could have. I don't know what kind of AI videos they can make of Jimmy Hart and the megaphone, but.
Hey, they can make an AI video and show Vince McMahon coming in and taking his megaphone and leaving.
Yeah, could he?
See?
Yeah. The culprit has been found.
Some of these AI videos they have, you can't tell the difference. I mean, that's going to be a big problem later on.
And you could have Jimmy Hart saying poo-poo in it, so you know it's him.
hey, well, maybe he needs to do, and we would play it here. He'd say, come on, poo-poo. Give me my megaphone back. I won't charge you. I just want it back. I really love that the way Jimmy could ask, you'd almost say, hell, I'll just buy you one, Jimmy. Your interview got to me. Do you know Jimmy?
Never met him. I would have loved to have interviewed him.
Brother, you'll be his closest best friend within a minute. And you'll feel like he talks to you like he's known you since you were 15 years old. And he makes you feel comfortable, and he's really, really a good guy.
Two more things. I think we've got two more bits of news, and then we'll call it a day. Yes, we have. Vince Russo emailed to Vince McMahon. This is from the Ariel Helwani show. I thought you'd like this. Here's the quote.
Oh, man, the last time we had an email exchange, God, was probably, I don't know, maybe 8 years ago, and it didn't go too well.
What was it about?
It was about he was entertaining the fact of bringing me back because the numbers were going down again. So he was entertaining the idea of bringing me back, and he kind of wanted me to audition for the job. And I'm like, Vince, I think you kind of know what I can do. I think you've seen what I could do. I'm not jumping through hoops. You can continue going on down the road you're going down.
Wow. So this is like 2017 or so.
Yeah. Before all the stuff went down.
Sure.
Probably about 8 years ago or so.
Were you shocked that he reached out?
Actually, I think I reached out. I got to tell you, Ariel, this is what happens with me with wrestling all the time. I watch it, and for me, it gets so bad. It's like, I got to do something about it. Like, I cannot stand here and watch this anymore. And that's what on several occasions caused me to reach out. So I actually reached out, but he did get back to me immediately.
Okay. And you would have considered it?
Yes.
Until the audition idea was presented.
Yeah, he wanted me to like watch the shows a month and give him my feedback. So I came back with, okay, no problem. And what are you paying me for that month? And he hit me with, hey, you should be thrilled to have this kind of opportunity. And I'm like, Vince, I'm not a kid just out of college. I'm not working for free. I'm not watching the shows. If you want to compensate me, no problem. But the days of me doing anything for free are long gone. And Ariel, I'll be honest, he got pretty nasty with me. And the last email was really nasty. He was hitting me below the belt.
Oh my!
And I didn't even answer it. I'm like, okay, and I didn't even answer.
In addition, Vince Russo claimed that Vince McMahon wanted him to watch shows, and share his thoughts. Then, when he asked how much he would be paid, the former WWE owner said there would be no compensation.
Wait a minute, there would be no compensation.
Mm-hmm.
What's that mean? You're not going to pay him?
Yep.
Hey, I was kind of halfway buying into that, but there would be no compensation. Was that a joke, or there's no compensation because I'm not hiring you?
I guess it was that. But I guess they offered him a non-paid consultancy role where they wouldn't have taken his opinions on anything, I guess.
Well, I don't blame you for doing that.
Hey, I do that already. No one pays me to watch the shows and I give an opinion.
That's right. They could watch this and get a good lineup on it. It just doesn't tell them what to do. But in WWE, and not knowing what to do tells them everything. And 1 week, I just throw the kitchen sink at them and just see what happens. And see what the return is. But again, we don't know what RKO's what they think about wrestling and how they're getting their money anyway. They get it off the syndication. The house shows, if it makes a profit, it makes a profit. The pay-per-views, it makes a profit. It makes a profit. But they got so many other things built into the WWE experience, the merchandise, the this, the that, all the things that they're making hand over fist money. So, and how much have they syndicated their shows for? It's already a big increase, like 100% from years gone by, or maybe more.
Pretty much. That was Raw's. I can't remember what it was. Was it like 500 million a year for Raw rights, and then international rights, and then SmackDown USA got more than Fox paid for them, and then all the PLEs, ESPN paid. Was it 1.6 billion for 5 years?
Okay. When does this come up for renewal?
Oh, well, the Netflix one, that'll come up for right, okay. Everyone said, well, it's a 10-year deal. It is in theory, but Netflix has a back-out clause in 5 years. So, in theory, it's at least 5 years.
Okay, so using that as a timetable, I think you'll see WWE start getting better about the 4-year mark.
Yeah, probably.
And the last year, they'll just flood it. They'll do everything they can, get the ratings up when they get their new contract. Let's go on a vacation. We'll just send it in. We'll just text it in.
Hey, let me ask you this, right? So, okay, let's say I know Vince has got his supporters. He's got his detractors as well, Vince Russo. But here's the thing: if he had gone to WWE in 2017, he would have just been one of 30 people in a room, most likely. And because I'm sure, I mean, you'll know this from your time there, and as far as I understand, Vince McMahon made all the decisions anyway. He was way more involved than he was in the 90s, where he would mostly let things go by and let the creative team handle things. And then Triple H is now the head as well, so, I mean, he gets final say rather than the head writer. So it seems that instead of having to, go through Triple H, who would have final say, but just to approve everything, it seems that Triple H is actually heading these meetings. So there isn't really any such thing as a head writer, because Triple H is the head writer.
Well, he may claim to be head writer, but he's not actually writing that. He's got somebody else writing it. The head writer, all he does is collect all the information and put it together in a form that they can, in a TV script, so everybody can read it. That's all basically is what his job is. And see, in any kind of creative team, you have certain guys who how many people they got on the creative team?
Oh, they've got like 2 levels. So they've got, I think, loads of guys and girls that work in Stamford, Connecticut, as far as like the underlings. And then they've got like a small head table of writers that goes to every show. Or, like every SmackDown, then they've got the Raw side and the SmackDown side. But they've probably got dozens in total. And it's worse than ever. There's like less creativity than ever.
Well, there is such a thing as having too many writers.
Too many cooks in the kitchen.
Right. Too many. And everyone, I may have told this before, they started a table, say of 10 people, and the guy at the head of the table would whisper the idea to the guy next to him, and the guy would say, he would whisper the guy next to him. When it went around the table, the whole angle had changed, and one person had already been changed. See, and you're telling them what the first guy said, supposedly, as it went around the table, and then as it made the turns or made the course back, it changed completely. Not even the same idea that the guy first put out.
Jey Uso is turning heel. Purple monkey dishwasher. All right then. Let's go to. I've actually got a game for you, and to be honest, I did it with Stevie last Wednesday. It did very well, so I wanted to do a game, the same game with you, Dutch, and it's the WWE valuation game. So Triple H was interviewed on a YouTube channel called Complex that has quite a lot of subscribers, and it was an interview with Triple H in the Stamford, Connecticut headquarters, and they had some objects, some objet d'art there, so it was like Antiques Roadshow, of 10 different items that happened to be hanging around the office, or at least specially brought in, and they were valued. Who by? I don't know. Could have been Triple H himself valuing them, and I don't know who valued them. Maybe it was Complex, maybe it was just Triple H making it up on the spot, who knows. But anyway, they showed 10 different items, and I want you to guess what you think WWE, or whoever it might be, valued them at. So, Dutch, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's do it. Okay, so here is item 1, Dutch. Back in 1990, well, I'll tell you. It's a helmet with an X on it. So D-Generation X back in 1998, they went and invaded a WCW show down the road. And this is one of the helmets that one of them was wearing.
Triple H wore it.
Triple H or whoever it was wore it. How much do you think they valued this bit of tin for?
$50,000.
Well, you're going quite high up immediately there, because they valued it at $8,000, like estimated value.
Oh, okay.
So there you go. So now you've got a baseline.
I got a baseline. Yep.
Next one. Now this is fairly amazing. Who do you think?
No, wait a minute. I think it'd be well over 8,000 if you put it up for public auction.
You think it'll go over?
Over what? 8,000?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, maybe a bargain had for somebody there. Right, so this suitcase... Hang on, I need to lean in. I'm not deaf. I'm ignoring you. If I wanted to hear from an asshole, I would have farted. Whose suitcase do you think that is?
I don't know whose suitcase that is. Whose is it?
Andre the Giant's.
Oh, well, I think for a wrestling fan, that'd probably be worth... Going off the first one, I would say this is $5,000.
$50,000, Dutch, they have estimated this for. So this is the original Harrowburn.
I was super high on the first one and super low on this one.
I know, if you switched them around, I think you would have been absolutely bob on. Next one. Rhea Ripley's, and you can barely see what it is, sort of like headdress eye thing.
Yeah.
What do you think they valued that at? And it was from last year.
20,000.
15. Not bad. That's from WrestleMania 25. This one is Cody Rhodes' entrance mask / motorcycle helmet from WrestleMania 25. That he then, the WrestleMania that Travis Scott made famous in the end.
10,000.
25,000. Where do you think he's getting these valuations from?
Making them up like I am.
Yeah, I think so. The Undertaker's urn from, I think, 1991.
Oh, I think that is, I think that's the biggest one. 100,000.
75,000. That's not too far off. I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one as a thumbs up. Bray Wyatt's lantern, or I imagine one of many of Bray Wyatt's lanterns.
50,000. 7,000?
Yeah. But the thing is, he had loads of them. So I'm not sure how you sort of quantify if that's like the original.
Well, he just didn't use one?
I don't know. Could have used 20.
Okay. Go ahead.
Right, okay. So Triple H has this apparently in his office, right? It is a sledgehammer he used. And now, in the YouTube video, he talks about using a sledgehammer for the first time in 1999 and the story that goes with that, right? But then he says, that sledgehammer isn't the one I'm talking about. That one is just a random sledgehammer from 2006. How much do you think that random sledgehammer from 2006, they are valuing it at? They didn't give, the storyline or the angle or whatever they used it in.
2,000.
$5,000. Once again. Now, this is an interesting one. This is Buddy Rogers' original United States / Worldwide Wrestling Federation Championship from the 50s to 1963.
That's got to be the biggest one of all of them right now. I'll say $100,000.
$150,000. It used to have a picture of Buddy in the middle as well. Andre the Giant's boots.
So what did his briefcase go for? 50?
Yeah.
75.
120. Dutch, I want to ask you this: how long would a pair of boots last you for? I mean, if you doing the crepe sole and stuff.
Oh, they'd last 3-4 years, 5 years maybe. You took care of them.
How can you take care of them in a wrestling ring?
What would happen? What would happen to boots years ago was, you get in some of these buildings and they weren't air conditioned, and you would, of course, you're going to perspire, you're going to sweat. And then, if you spent an extended time in a ring that night, your boots, and you're going to be soaked when you come out. So that's when in summer days down south, and it would get into boots, and you put them in your bag, and it lays in there a while. Then when you get to your room, you take them out. But after a while, it wears down the leather, and that takes away the longevity of your boots. And pretty soon you can't even stand your own boots. So you got to lay them out in the sun.
How much would a pair of boots cost you?
Oh, back in those days, $100, which is, now it'd be like 500. What are boots now, you think?
Probably about, I don't think they're that expensive. I think it's one of the few things that's probably got cheaper over time.
Well, it's according to who makes it and how well it's made.
Last one. Triple H's hat, I guess, from one of the WrestleManias. And keep in mind, I think it's Triple H valuing his own stuff here. 10 million.
How much?
No, I'm kidding. It was $60,000 for his skull hat.
No, I would have said for that, because I don't even remember that really. But you'll find out one thing, that collectors are a different breed. They don't breed. They don't bid.
A lot of them probably don't breed.
Yeah, they don't bid on against regular people. They bid against other collectors. And so when they go it up, they start sending it up. Well, the guy said, "Well, I want it," and he could have a personal vendetta against the guy that's bidding because he probably knows who he is anyway. And he said, "No, he's not getting that. I don't care how high I have to go." I had a book here, and it's a date book, and where I would write dates down, and sometimes the payoffs and a bunch of numbers. It was just a workbook, but it was about 42 years old, and I put it up for open auction. Guess what it brought me? Almost $1,000.
Nuts.
And that's a book that's just laying around. If I hadn't auctioned it off, you know what I would probably done with it?
Thrown it away, most likely.
Yeah, probably. I wish I just had the stuff I threw away, which I'd like to announce now that I'm going to go through my stuff since I'm not a collector, and I'm going to put a lot of it up for bid. So pay attention, fans. You may get something.
Yeah, let me know what it is first, and then let me have a root through first.
You want to buy it first?
Well, it depends what it is. I mean, if it's like a pair of your old trunks, you can keep them. But if not interested, but if it was something interesting, maybe.
But I don't have trunks or singlets. I got rid of those 15 years ago. But a lot more than what I paid for them. But they had history behind them. That's what they're saying.
So, yes, as we go off air and Dutch tells me what he's got at the bottom of his, wherever it is, the box shoved in the back of a corner somewhere, we will shut down the show a little earlier than usual. Apologies. Dutch does have somewhere to be that's very, very important, so we had to sort of cut down things a bit. So everybody, once again, thank you for watching. We will be back on Sunday with Ask Dutch Anything once again. Questions for Dutch at gmail.com is the email you use to contact the show and submit your questions for those episodes. But until those, look, Dutch has already got his flag ready for Ask Dutch Anything this coming Sunday. But until then, Dutch and everybody else, put your hand over your heart and in a loud, clear voice say after me, we, the people.
The people.